Hi friends, we'll create one data frame by using one Excel file and then we'll apply search to that particular data frame to get our desired record. Now while take the input for the search, it can be a string or it can be an integer. So we'll apply a combination of search to this data frame. Now once you enter it, it can be an ID or an integer, then we will search in the integer column, or it can be a matching part of a name. So we'll search in the name column. Whatever the output we get, we'll display it in a Tkinter Treeview. So it's entirely we'll take the input from a Treeview and apply it to a data frame and then display the record in the Treeview. We'll learn all about this. We'll start from this blank Python file. So here first we'll import pandas, as PD. Now after this, because we will be using Treeview, so for that we will import TTK. So from Tkinter import TTK. This is required for the Treeview. Now what I will do, I'll just paste little bit Tkinter code here. You can see this gives a blank window. I am importing Tkinter, then TK, this is my parent window, and a geometry of 500 width and 350 height. That's the dimension. You can change it. Then title. Then to hold the window open, I am using this line. So this is a blank template actually. We can just see this also. Here it is. Before we add the widgets to our window, let's just create the data frame. So df, this is what the data frame name we are given. pd.readExcel. So readExcel will read the Excel file and create the data frame for us. So what should be the where from it will read? In my case, I kept it in this location. I'm just pasting the path here. So your case, whatever your file is there, and this student file sample also you can download. So this will create the data frame for us. Data frame. So this sample data frame I will be using. This is our source data. We'll apply our filters and create our result data frame. So that will display in our Tkinter window. Now let's add the components. If you are well aware of our adding the widgets and all, you can skip this part. So L1, the label I am adding to this tk.label. This is just a text only. My parent window is my_w text. So what I am writing something because the label is for the search, and width I am not giving more. Width is 5 and font. Let's give a bigger font than the default 18. So now let's place this L1 on the grid. L1.grid. Now row equal to 1 because this is the first one. So column equal to 1. Pad X. Slightly we are giving pad X, not flushing with the left edge. Pad Y equal to 10. From the top also we are maintaining a gap. Now we'll add that entry box. So this entry box is our where the user will enter the string to search. So tk.entry. Now here again my_w is my parent window. Now width. Slightly I am giving more width because names will be given. So 35 I am given the width. BZ, the background color I am giving yellow. Is just to little bit different than the others. Font again slightly higher font. Now let's place this E1 to the right of our label. So E1.grid. Now row 1. So row equal to 1. Column, because the grid, the first label we have given it here is column 1. So right of it, so I am giving column 2. So column equal to 2. Now pad X equal to 1. Slightly I am giving the pad X here. Now one more that is important is the button, because after you entering the data, user will click the button and that will trigger our function to filter the data frame. So B1 equal to tk.button. This is just the Tkinter layout only, my_w. Now what should be written over the button? It should be search, because that is what the button, or you can write go also, whatever you want. Width, I am just restricting the width through 7. Font equal to 18. Slightly higher font I am giving. And what should be the command? When the user clicks the button, what should happen? So the command equal to lambda. Now here, my search is the function I want it to be executed. Now what will happen if now right, because my search is not available right now. That I have not yet written the function. So let's just place it on a grid first. Grid here, row equal to 1, column equal to 3, because 2 is the entry box right of it. So column 3, after 2 it is the 3. Then pad x equal to 2, slightly left edge. Now after this function I will define it. I will be writing the main code inside this, my search. For the time being for the time being I am not writing anything, pass. So let's just save this and run and see how this looks. So okay, my previous window is still open. I had to close this. Now here it is. You can see the search, the entry box here. Then when the user clicks the search, this our Treeview should display the data here. Inside the function we will place the Treeview, but before that let's understand a bit that Treeview, whatever we generated, that will have two parts of it. One is the headers, we'll create a list of it, and the second part is the data part. So if there is no data, filter has not resulted in data, okay, the headers will only appear with a blank rows. Now if the rows have come up, then header and rows both will be displayed. So L1 is my list. In fact, earlier we have exclusively one tutorial we had discussed on various sources, how dynamically you can create Treeview with the headers, column headers, and by taking from the data source itself. So that's what that you can see, and the same one we are using. Now list df. Now df is what? This df is our source data frame. Here at line number 3 we got it. So that this L1 will contain all the headers, whatever we are getting from our main source or the table. So list of column names as header. So this is important. This what will be integrated with our Treeview. Now after that, let me just find out what is the query. The query is the query is my E1. E1 is the entry box 1, get. So whatever the user has entered, plus I am using strip, because if the user has entered any space at the before or after, this strip method will remove that. It's a string method only. So this is, now I got the query, means that is what the user has entered. Now first, to start with, let me just create a simple str1 or string 1. What it is, df, assuming that whatever the user has entered is a integer. So id equal to int, now query. So why I am using int? Because by default this what the user has entered is a string only, because we know he has entered the id is equal to 10, 5, 6, like that, whatever id. I am converting into integer and then finding out this one. Sorry, this should not be if, because this is designed for the if. str1 equal, I am writing the string here. Now after that, what I am doing is I am coming to the next line and I am creating the filter. df2 is my filter, my result and data frame. df, now here I am using the whatever I have declared it at there. So df1. Now let's this is what is our, after applying the id or data whatever the user entered. Now the filter is this, df2 will contain the details of the after applying the query or the applying the data. Now let's to verify it, just print df2 to our console. We'll see whether, now it is, so far we have not gone to our Treeview. So we have just testing whatever the filter we have used for entering only id, not the name. So that is matching or not. Why I have created here, I could have directly written here, because I have a one more condition also. So that I will put it str1 based on whether it's a digit or a string based on what the user has entered. So I am saving this. Let's run and see how this works. Say I have giving say 5 such. Now here you can see left bottom of the, see this is the 5 John Mike 460. Now I will change this to say 15. Now one more record. It is picking up the record based on this. This ID column is there. This is the ID column. This is the 14 is the index of it, because 0 based index. So data frame is created on that. So that is why this is giving. Now I can give one more ID. I can use it and get the whatever the ID is there, that data I am getting it here. We'll add the Treeview now. So let's move up and remove this print command is not required. We have tested it, it is working for the ID. Now let's place the tree view now. So for that, trv equal to ttk, not tk, because that's why we have imported ttk at the top. You can see line number 2. So ttk, now here you are giving tree view. Now what's the parent window is my underscore w. Now select mode. Select mode is equal to browse. The other mode is extended, that we are not using, browse. So fine. So trb, now let's place it on a grid. So trv dot grid, what should be row equal to 2. Why row 2 is row 2? Because row 1 all the entries, search button and that user entry, all these were row 1. So now it is next to that. So row equal to 2 you have, and column equal to 1, the first element. But here we'll give a full width to it. So 3 elements there at the previous column, row 1, the label, the entry and the bottom. So here we are saying occupy the 3 column span equal to 3. So it's stretched for up to 3 columns. Now we'll give, here slightly pad x equal to 10. Now pad y vertically we are just giving some gap of 20. Now this is what we have placed it. Now let's give settings, some more settings. trv, now height. This is the will tell you by default how many maximum how many rows of data we want. Let it be 10. Suppose if it is a 20 rows, filter has given 20 rows as output. In that case you have to, it will allow us to scroll also. So by default it is 10 records within the window it will be. Now trv, so now we are saying headings. Now column identifier, trv, what are the columns we have? Now column identifier means columns equal to L1 or list 1. Fine. Now for I in L1. Now what is I here? Now in the list, every column we are list is having all the headers. So we are taking one by one header and adding it as a column header to our tree view. Let me just move up a bit. Yeah. So for I in L1, trv dot column. So I am defining it. I means I will take the first column, say ID, name, class, mark, gender. So first I will be ID like that. Width, what should be the width of it? Because here it will be a common width for all the columns, because we are inside a loop, we can't specify anything. Which side it will be anchored? So it will be, I am giving it center. If you want left aligned, you give it L. So it is anchored, I am giving it C. So center aligned. Now what should be the text? trv dot heading. Now the heading I is text equal to the column identifier equal to I. Here I have to give I. So each heading is ID, name, class, mark, gender, all this. Now our headings are over. Now the actual data. Now you can see here df2 holds our data, but here one more thing we have not done. Data frame to a list we have to, whatever the filtered means after applying the search, whatever data we get it, that will keep it as name rset equal to df2. df2 is the resultant data frame after applying our query or the condition. So df2 to numpy now here again to list, because finally we want a list. So this we are converting into a list, whatever the out of the rows, whatever df2 has, that we are converting into rows. So this we will write down here, create list of list. This is a list of list. Each row is a list now using rows. Fine. So now let's come down here, that I will be using for dt. It is the variable in rset. Means each dt will take one list of rows, one list of data. So a student one row of data will be within one loop, it will be dt. Next dt will be another next, based on whatever filtered data output we got it. So B, I am just creating, because that will come as a tuple. So I am just creating same one as a list here. So this particular code is same as whatever dynamically we are assigned column and headers. You can watch that tutorial. R for R in DT. So I'm just collecting the data and creating a list out of it. List, because this is, even you can directly use it also, but you will get all the end brackets here. So that's why I'm creating a clear list. Now I am inserting. Insert. Now first, what should be the parent ID or parent row? Blank, because there is no parent or child here, so everything is a parent only. Now where it will be added? At the end. The next will be bottom of it, next will be bottom of it, like that. So what should be the unique ID? ID equal to V0. Here one caution. Suppose in your, because we have a unique ID in our student table, we are doing that. Suppose in your case, if by your B0 means it is the ID and which is unique. Say in your case, suppose two students have the same ID, here you will get a error. So for that, even if your such a situation is there, then use a incremental counter, I equal to 0, I increment it by 1, 2, 3 like that and assign it here. B0 means you are taking whatever the column ID have got, that we are taking as unique ID. Now what should be the values? Equal to V. So that's all. So this is what we will be getting it. Now let's check it. But one thing, now it is only taking numeric data. Let's just see that and see the tree view. So let's here, I know I can't enter anything else. So 14. Something, no attribute to list. Okay, here something I did a mistake, to list. df2 to numpy, here it's, I missed the brackets here. Let me just run it once again. So ID is 15, say such. You can see here the record I have 15 is displayed. Now let me say 114 or anything is 14. Now let me say 20, 20, such 20, record number 20 is displayed. Now we'll go that this is not that the always will enter the ID. We may enter the name also, that we'll see. Here we'll write a condition. Now we'll say, once you get the query, we'll say if. Now we are going to check it. If query is digit, means it's ID or 1, 2, 3, 4 or whatever the digit is entered. In such a case, then this is true. This you use it. Else, so that means it is not a digit. Else, what will happen? This str1 equal to df name dot str. It's that string contains. Contains means anywhere if that name is there or whatever query is there, query. Now we'll see whether it is should match the case or not. Case equal to false means uppercase, lowercase, it should not bother. Lowercase or uppercase, whatever it is. So now then this str. So based on what the user has entered, which str1 variable will be set, that will be taken. Because here you see, if it is a digit, then use this, convert into a integer and apply it into the ID column. If it is not, then the name column to be used. See, the student's names column is there, and in that name, when you apply it, check that this query, whatever the user has entered, it is contains anywhere, either it's starting, in between or ending with, everything, everywhere. That the character must be there. So that is what it should. So it automatically checks whether it is a digit or. So that for that we can check it like this. Say I am giving JO. So JO, these two characters should be present there. Now let you just see, this is no more I applied the second, the else condition has taken care, because in the else condition we are checking it JO. You just see JO, JO, JO here also, everywhere all these name columns have this J and O. Now let's just change it to AL. Such, how many AL are there? Here you see AL, and it is case is, we have still don't bother about case is false, so it has picked up AL, it has matched. Here also AL is there, whatever it is. Now let me just enter 19. Now once it is entered 19, it knows that 19, this time it has to check on the ID column. So matched 19 is displayed here. That's all, friends. So this is how we'll use our Excel. Now I'll just leave it to you. Suppose you want the same in the search, the mark also you should check it. But how you will know whether you are entered the ID? Say display all the student who got mark more than 20. In fact, that is what is advanced searches. But in such a situation, if your data source is coming from the database, then you will definitely go apply these conditions as a query to the database and get the result. You will not use a data frame from that. Here in this case, most of the time we use Excel and we use Excel to get some details. So there, and you just see that this script will apply to any Excel, and this is independent of column headers, whatever fields you have. But you note that here while applying, you are using the ID, because here we are naming the columns for ID and name. These two are the column headers we are using. Your tree view is dynamically created, means based on the whatever ID, name, class, mark, gender, it automatically takes from the result and it accordingly displays. That's all, friends. Use the link below to get the entire source code. You can practice it, and my request is please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so you will be notified as and when we add new tutorials. We frequently do that also. And if you have any doubts, suggestions, questions, use the comment section below to post it. Please share this with your friends, and thank you for watching.